August the 18th, 2021. Guys, you're looking at satellite images over the Caribbean and the Gulf of Mexico. This is Grace. It's going to be a hurricane before it slams into the Yucatan Peninsula, and that's going to weaken it somewhat. Then it's going to regain strength up to possibly 85 mile per hour, strong Cat 1, before it comes into the Mexican coast there, into the western Gulf. Check this out, guys. You can tell it's very well wrapped. It's going to be some damage wherever this thing goes. It's not going to be as mild as Fred was. Now, Fred, its power was unleashed yesterday in multiple tornadoes, and that's what I was concerned about as it moved up through Georgia and the Carolinas and Virginia. It just kept on popping these things up left and right. And I hope everyone's okay. I know there was some houses torn up and some trees down. I don't have any on-hand reports or localized reports. I just know what I saw in the National Weather Service. If you guys were affected by that, come in the comments and let us know. But I want to look at this path, and we're going to take a quick look at the California wildfires. They have broken a record of over 1 million acres burned, and the Dixie Fire, the largest in the history there, is only 30% contained. And the smoke will again show you some unreal images from space. Now, this is the tracking. This is from Sky Tower Radar, and they match the National Hurricane Center. And we have a 75 mile per hour Hurricane Grace on our hands now. It's located here south of Cuba. And notice as it starts to come ashore in the Yucatan Peninsula in the morning, Thursday at 8 a.m., it's at 85 miles an hour. Now, right in here between Friday at 8 a.m. and Saturday at 8 a.m., they're projected to again become about an 85 mile per hour storm before it comes ashore into Mexico here. Notice as it comes across the Yucatan, it will temporarily be downgraded to a tropical storm simply because of the interaction with the land. 75 miles an hour, west-northwest at 15 miles per hour. Pressure's dropping at 992 millibars. But again, guys, you can see the projected path somewhere inside this cone. Now, the models pretty much show the same thing. You've got a couple that vary off to the north, one in Louisiana, one along the Texas-Mexico border. But it looks like most of them are agreeing now on this, crossing the Yucatan, slowing down, and then slamming back into Mexico, somewhere right in this area. Now, this gives us a wide view. A lot of the Pacific, you got California, Nevada to your right there, Arizona, and Utah. I've got it paused here because we're right on the line of switching from infrared to visible images, and these dark areas that you see, the little black spots, these are fires. That's what we're dealing with there as we play this forward. Check this out. Again, half of California, this section is covering down through the valley, moving across Nevada, extremely thick smoke. There's fires in Nevada also. And again, part of the pipeline shortage there as far as diesel and fuel coming out of California and Nevada. I was told by people there in Sparks that it had something to do with one of the pipelines being shut down because of the fires. But I do know firsthand, made a phone call, that the truckers coming out of California through the Sparks, Nevada area, through the big truck stops there, and the people I talked to were running the TA truck stop in Sparks itself, said the truckers were limited to 60 gallons. And, you know, they've got a 100-gallon tank on either side of the truck. So that's not going to get them real far. But the lady that I talked to there at the truck stop said that what they're doing is pulling up, getting 60 gallons, and it limits that on the credit card amount. Then they just hang the fuel nozzle up, reinsert the credit card, and get another 60 gallons. That's what I was told, again, by someone that works at that truck stop. Guys, this is really getting thicker by the day. You can see the smoke all the way up into Oregon. And what's happening now, and they're saying this northern wind is a very dry wind. And you can tell that. You can see how it's pushing this offshore moisture away from the shoreline. But this extra dry wind is just going to make it worse. So all you guys in that area, pay very close attention to it. You know, we have wildfires all across the nation. This is where it's really concentrated at. So pay attention to it. We'll update this afternoon. We'll get more images in. But I just hope, and I've heard word that some military aircraft are participating and dropping some water here. Let's hope that's the truth. But again, you've got a major mess, and it's really scattering this fire across not only the southwest, but the northwest and across the northern half of the U.S. This stuff is drifting down across the central part of our nation also. Now, nationwide view, you've got this tropical storm out into the Atlantic. It basically is going to circle around Bermuda and head back out to sea according to the models. But here's the remnants of Fred. And a few moments ago, there were no tornado warnings. It's starting to wind down somewhat. Just keep an eye on it as it heats up today if you're real close to that circulation. You got storms that are coming across Arkansas and into Texas. Maybe that will help with this heat that we're dealing with. It's very humid now. The temperature is 84, humidity is 92% here with a real feel of 98, and that's probably going to top out 104, 105 here today. But you can see this smoke as it gets into the atmosphere. You've got this southerly flow coming out of the north and then reversing here, and all of that smoke is dropping back down into the central U.S. Again, all we can do is hope that people that are in charge will really make sure that they have all hands on deck as far as the firefighters and the military and the military's capability to drop water. And that's about, all we can hope on, because we're getting really into the hottest, dry season now for many parts of the Northwest and the West itself. But guys, we're watching this, all our friends down in the Yucatan Peninsula and in Mexico. Pay attention to Grace. She's going to be strong. She's going to come ashore hard. We're watching this, guys. You watch it. It's a heads up. Be safe.